So I'm, I think, very lucky to actually see this firsthand today. So yeah, if you could show me what's going on here. Yeah.
So you can see that he's demoing about searching a patient ID.
Correct. Yeah.
And using the patient ID now, let's say somebody's coming to see you.
Yes.
Right? Physician. So you can search on the patient ID.
Yes.
And it will give you all the information about the patient ID. And based on the patient ID, you can search different parameters for the patient ID.
So it can be any or many EMRs. It can be many radiology vendors, many pathology vendors.
He's searching on diabetes.
Yes.
So now you want to see all the diagnostic. If you scroll back, these are all the things that you can see about diabetes.
Including medical requests, prescriptions, observations. So it will pull up all the observations that are related to diabetes.
All of your siloed data that's being indexed.
Yes.
All of that will be available.
Fantastic. So let's say I have extra queries in relation to, let's say, now that I know this patient had non-STEMI, can I ask the search more information about him non-STEMI as well? Oh, right. How does that work?
So there is an option within the API itself that turns on, like it's specific from GenAI, and says, hey, this is my question. If you query it, and it'll give you information based on what the data it has, summarizes it, and it gives you the related grounding information, saying this is the reference point that I'm giving you the well-being.
And I'm so happy that it's actually picking up diabetic retinopathy there as well, plus the retinal images, and there's some instructions about referral within 1 month and so on. So it might be, is it possible to then follow up and see what happened to those referrals and stuff like that, or maybe not that far down?
It depends on the data that's in there, and there is a use case that can be built off of it, and you can always, like, these are like based on the patient record, but if there are additional use cases, you can build them off based on the data.
You have all the data, right? And with the agent space and agentic framework, you can do anything. Read referrals, and have somebody actually give you a summary of a patient that's coming in.
Absolutely.
So it is endless options there.
So then we went to antibiotics there. There's a whole heap of antibiotics that were prescribed, and it will be hospitals, it will be general practice, it will be everywhere, won't it?
Yes.
Fantastic. Now, who has access to that? Is that access by the doctor or by the patient or both?
So you build in, this one is access controls are all something again based on use case. You can build in the access controls associated with who you want this to be accessed
by whom? By the patient or the doctor?
Provider. This is a clinician-facing app.
Okay, yeah.
So it is a clinician-facing pieces.
Yes.
But if you would like to expose it to patient organization, then that's up to you.
So you could
get a use case.
Fantastic. You could have a patient version of an app. Will be able to
their specific data to that.
Absolutely. Now, I also come from ambient AI background. That's part of one of the jobs I do. How could ambient AI technology sort of relate back and forth into this? I'm talking about patient conversations or voice-based bookings and stuff like that. Yeah.
You can actually, you can connect your ambient listening capabilities to an agent, like and plug it into your EHR system.
Correct. Yeah.
And once you plug it
or a third party.
Third party. Yeah. They're sending you all the information of summarization and what they've gathered and
correct.
That feeds back into this again.
Correct.
So this is another data source from the perspective of search.
Yes.
Ambient listening, all the post visit summary, all of that is a part of this diagram of the patient record, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that is the whole 360 value of the.
So there's a search on YouTube for Meditech search and summarization solution.
Okay.
You can actually have a demo that's live in production for them.
I see.
When you ask for Care Studio, that one was Care Studio, but now the company, like, we have moved away from the UI piece of it. The underlying infrastructure is being provided by us.
Absolutely.
And the customers are building their own UI.
Fantastic.
So that's the difference between what you heard about Care Studio and
what's happening. Yeah, absolutely. Is that demo video available for public or not?
The YouTube,
Is that diabetes one?
This one is not.
No, that's okay. I'll just take it. So, searching for diabetes at HBNY, there's also medication dispensing or medication requests there with metformin prescribed in the past. So it seems really good. And then it's also picking up past medical history that's related to diabetes, the history of coronary artery disease and non-STEMI. I think this is going to be pretty much life-changing for most of our patients and our doctors as well. So I think, well done. So even handwritten images like this can be actually OCR'd by the Google search engine, which seems to be fantastic.
You don't even need to search engine to OCR there.
Right,
there are so many baby steps you can take before going there.
Right.
You just use Gemini multimodal.
Okay.
It's an API call. Send your fax images in. It will extract all the data and it can add it to your EHR system.
As well.
Yeah,
so it's not a one-way stream. It can actually go both ways.
You can. It's an API call. So your IT team can actually ingest the data from document AI or OCRing, extract the data in a structured format, and put that back into your EHR system, so that it actually adds it to your enhances your EHR data.
So this is what happens commonly. So patients will move from one state to the other and come to our clinic and say, hey, all my data is back there. We normally get records transferred, but normally it's a one-sheet summary. Sometimes they're just PDFs and impossible to go through. So essentially, and especially hard, if it's the same EHR, it's relatively easy, but if there are different EHRs, it's possible. It's possible, but it's very hard.
Yes.
But the problem also is that it's uncoded data, so all the data is completely unstructured. If I want to know their ankle pulses from 2022, it's impossible for me to find that data. So this will actually tell me exactly when that happened and so on. Fantastic.